right, guys, let's get back into the podcast. So you pass through the gates of the portal, your ticket to a new world, and step into a coiled sea of stars. As you peer forward, you see a massive burning sun towards the center of the spiral. Its luminescence fills you with a sense of wholeness, perfection. It distracts you a moment longer, and you soon begin to drift towards it. Looking around to find your companions, you see familiar figures, beings made of light, being pulled, gravitating towards this sun. As you all progress past the smaller stars, they begin to flicker and expire. Like stars in an inky black sky, more and more lights begin to die. You take a look back to where you came, and you see a dim radiance. It explodes in a blue light, and then disappears into the darkness. As you get closer to this grand light, you see lurking above it a pale lit star, almost seemingly reflecting the sun like a small blue moon. A pull. An intense green tug of energy forces you forward. You begin plummeting towards that grand light. Your form abstracts, and your essence becomes more defined. You're a bundle of memories, power transferred from one place to another. Unnatural and blasphemous, but that was what was wished for. You merge with that grand light, its warm golden hue grows fully green, and you are rushed towards a dwarf. All collide within him and then rush towards you. Shrieks of power whisk through the air as they find their hosts and join themselves again. And with an implosion of magical energy, the gold standards dissipate, the magic that binds you all now disappear, the divination seals shatter, metal recedes from your skin and becomes normal, and the tower fades away and the teardrop dims, leaving you all standing in the middle of the shipyard of Van Corfer Enterprises. The blue being stands there staring blankly at you. It rolls its dice towards the ground and nothing happens. It rolls them again and nothing happens. Then with the wave of its hand, the ground begins to move. Intricate motions of its fingers trace cracks across the asphalt, forming interconnected circuits of magical energy and runes. A full magical circle. And then a portal opens, its edges glitchy and electrified. The smell of freshly baked bread fills the air. The blue being breaks down as it passes through the portal, leaving you all there as it closes. Moments later, the sounds of flapping fill the air with a massive shadow appearing overhead. It gets smaller as it descends behind you, and then with a loud crash, you hear two doors burst open. So what'd I miss?
Are we in the tower still? Or the shipyard?
You are currently in the shipyard.
Just like on the ground, or the tower's
Yep.
gone? Okay.
Yep, the tower is gone. You are all in the shipyard, and there are a couple of people around you, but Larry's bar is kind of just like standing there, and he's announced himself, but you see Fixus Van Corfer is kind of just like passed out on the ground, and you see Mitzi as well, also passed out on the ground.
What about Blasto? And
Blasto is no longer there, and you are unable to see Tomas Verp. He's currently not with you.
So what do we... Oh, God, my throat. Something's in my throat. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I need a minute.
Do you have any boo-boos? Because I could do what I can to, tend to your injuries and whatnot.
I just feel like I've been, swallowing sandpaper for the past week.
What? Now, why would you, eat sandpaper? That does not make for good food. I could cook you good food.
How long were we out for? Anyone?
I have no idea. All I remember was I made my little wish, and then I guess everything went blank. And then I guess here we are.
Did you say Mitzi was unconscious on the ground then?
Yes. Mitzi is currently unconscious on the ground.
And the teardrop is on the ground somewhere, just discolored or whatever, right?
It is currently dimly lit, but it is inside of Vilhelm's hand.
I was having the weirdest fucking dream. It's like you were there, and you were there, and you were all there. You were all fucking assholes.
Was Larry there?
I better have been there.
No, I don't think he was.
Yeah, no, Larry was totally there, yeah.
I remember getting a sunburn.
I remember I killed a lot of people. That was...
Wait, are we all... Did that actually happen?
I mean, I don't know. I just remember watching you all like fart around. It was weird. Like there were people who like illegals. You were not paladin. You were like asshole wearing pelts who like to burn things and whatnot. I was watching you all kind of fart around a big mountain. It was weird.
How much farting did we do and how long?
It was a lot.
From
Must have
everyone?
been a big mountain.
Everyone farted.
Why do my hands feel sore?
Oh.
This seems like a question only you could and should answer.
Yeah.
TMI.
I'm gonna go and just punch it. Is there like a tree nearby?
There's a wood roast.
Is this Minecraft now?
Oh, what happened while I was gone, guys? What are you talking about? Why is your throat dry and why is your hands dry?
Well, what happened, Larry, is some dogs attacked us, tried to turn us into metal, and then we fought this blue being, and then Vilhelm made a wish.
Don't leave out the conga line. We got a long line.
Oh, right, and then we were doing this conga line when the villain showed up, and he just blasted us.
They called him Blasty.
Did he also say the village showed up?
It takes a village.
Villain. Villain, not village.
It takes a villain. But, Larry, why are you back? I thought you were going away for, like, a few weeks.
Oh yeah. No, I just dumped off Retzela up north somewhere, but dropped him out of there, and I figured I'd come back for the whole shindig that you guys was going on.
How long have you been gone for, Larry?
Like two, maybe 3 days.
Are these business days or like regular days?
Well, it's Wednesday. So yeah, they're business days. Do you guys want to like come in for a drink or something? You all look pretty exhausted after your conga line.
I think we need to debrief what we all just witnessed.
Agreed. I'd also go for a delightful brew.
Well, I got some usuals whipped up for you guys, so come on in.
We should probably take them with us. Elgos gestures to Mitzi and company.
I remember Mitzi being a real,
An engineer.
Oh, I was gonna say asshole.
Cactus lover.
She had an infatuation with cacti, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if infatuation is the right word.
she was definitely aroused by them, it looked like.
I don't know if I want someone like that in my bar.
Let's yeah.
Well, we can't leave them here.
I mean, we can. There's a whole. It's the auction house with like the people still there,
Yeah, aren't there a fuck ton of people just in the auction house still?
or well, hall, whatever. It's
There's the Garfieris there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people inside of like that. Let's call it the auction house for right now. But you guys are in the middle of the shipyard. If you
So
want, you can just.
everyone who got verped is back.
Where's Oakley Boomer?
Oakley Boomer is currently not here.
Oakley!
What about Aarakocra? I mean, what about Aarakocra?
Dubilius Aarakocra?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we killed Oakley Boomer.
You killed Oakley Boomer?
What?
Killed him in the tower.
What the H?
Are you a murderer? Oh wait, we already know the answer to that one.
Listen, based on what I remember of the past few days, I don't think you get to talk.
Yeah, didn't you like feed a guy to another guy?
What is happening?
Not in a like a weird gay way, but like actual like, hey, here's like dude sausage.
What?
So you do remember it.
What the H? Dude sausage?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like
I did not have any dude sausage, Vilhelm. Do not worry about it.
yeah, you took man, killed man, cooked man meat, and then had other man eat cooked man meat. It was some weird cannibal shit.
Wilhelm, why are you...
Please just get on the road.
I'm walking into the bar. I need a drink.
So Wilhelm, so Breathweaver, about this man sausage. I like this idea. How did you do that?
It's either dude sausage or man meat. You're mixing the two.
I gotta steal it somehow. I mean, adapt it.
What about
Come
boy
on,
brisket?
Oh, I like that.
That's illegal.
I mean,
Not at Larry's.
I like to assume that most forms of cannibalism are in fact illegal, but like, you fucking did it anyways.
I didn't do anything. Well, I fed it to the guy. Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
okay.
didn't
It's okay.
partake.
Ellie Ghost like burned down a bar because there are a bunch of asshole paladins in it, so that was fun.
I gotta say, it sounds like, and this is just going off what apparently I did in that alternate realm. Sounds like we're all much cooler.
Yeah, I know, right? I felt like a bad.
I don't know if I'd use cooler.
You did light fire, so yeah, not for you.
Yeah, you all sound pretty cool.
Yes.
What about you, Anda? What did you do? What's a cool thing you did?
Apparently I punched things.
Wow, that is weirdly specific. Thank you for your
And
insightful input.
I reanimated somebody.
Is he taking credit for this again?
No, that was I think that was more like a team effort where you all like killed a drow, scooped his brain out, and then put brain of like Anders' friend into drow body and like brought it back to life.
Elagos is gonna like look around to see if Jackie Jan from other universe crossed over.
You do not see any Jackie Jan from other universe in the vicinity.
I look around for Jackie Jan and go, Oakley, where are you?
You merit no response. If you'd like, actually roll a perception check.
I got a 21. Owl changes so he has the Alita Battle Angel eyes and scans the perimeter.
So you scan the perimeter looking for any sort of sign of Oakley Boomer, and you can see, like, a little bit like south of you, there's like a puddle of just earwax on the ground, and other than that, there's nothing denoting Oakley Boomer's presence in this immediate area.
Alright, Elagos is gonna get into the bar
Yeah, let's
now.
get the...
So are we just gonna let them sit there, or are we gonna take them into the auction house and then leave?
I don't think it was in auction house. I mean, I'll do before I go to bar. I'll do a little like medical check to make sure that they are not at death's door. Then do I want to just roll like medicine?
Yeah, sure.
How many checks? Just one? Like
I'll
one
do a
blanket
one
check?
blanket check. They're like
Alright.
close enough
Unless
together.
it's bad, then you can roll another.
I rolled a 21.
All right, so you do your medicine check. They're both fine. They look to be stable, but just passed out.
All right, they need a little nap. While they take a little nap, we can go and have a bit of alcohol.
I will put them in the recovery business.
Larry, what are the usuals?
Oh, we got tons of usuals. What are you in the particular mood for? Are you looking for a vegetarian option, or are you looking for a non-vegetarian option?
Give me the blue jewel.
That's
Alright.
a drink. Amanda.
It's vegetarian.
Yes.
It's like
Not food.
Here you go. No, it's not. And he gives you a blue jewel.
I'll have the jalapeno hoppers or whatever you called them.
He didn't call them that, and
They were the holy pino poppers.
Yeah, there you go.
Larry, you know what kind of food I like. I also don't remember what you have for food, so like surprise me. In terms of alcoholic beverage, you can just get me like whatever your best dark beer is.
I think Vilhelm wants some orc spice pancakes.
Well, sounds like a good one to me.
and you can sign Elagos up for a training session with
will hurt
Retzola.
you.
Let us, we are all friends here. Let us not resort to violence.
I'll call him later. We'll book an appointment. So you see Larry heads behind the bar and begins to make you all some usuals. So you get the Holy Pino Poppers, you got a dark beer, That's for Vilhelm, and then someone wanted a blue jewel. That was Ander, correct? All right, let's see. What does the blue jewel do again? I have to go back into my book.
I think that was see the future.
It is, but I have to see exactly what it was. If it was the near future or the immediate future.
What?
It's not that different.
They're very different, all right?
Just come up with something. Whatever
All right,
that-
fine. All right, so yeah, that's correct. So, Ander, you are served your blue jewel, and you very likely you drink it. And all you see is that later, while you are asleep inside of Larry's bar, you throw up in your 5-person bunk bed.
Oh boy.
You are on the top bunk.
What'd you see, Ander?
Something trickle down economics.
Ander, what'd you see?
I'm gonna just say it. I need to take the bottom bunk later.
Don't we all have our own rooms?
Wait, really? Because I saw
Well,
myself on the 5-person.
Did you see anybody else on the
Now it comes
5-person
around
bunk
to the
bed?
5-person bunk bed.
Good question. I don't remember.
Sounds like someone needs another blue jewel.
Alright. So, we should probably stop beating around the bush and talk about the, end of the world, so to speak. None of us were really beating
Is
around
that
the bush.
still on?
but
I
guess...
thought we left that behind us.
Oh,
I think he's saying there's a chance it'll come over here too, unless I remember that wrong.
the weave was breaking down. Do we know why it was breaking down? Probably not. But we should probably make sure that that's an isolated event. It's not happening here. I also just... We gotta move this bar somewhere. I don't want to be in the Fix's compound anymore.
Okay. All right. I'll just fly us around for a little bit. And he kind of just like goes over to the fireplace, and you see he shouts up some things that ignite us, and you feel the bar begin to move. So you're now floating through the air, and Larry comes over to you guys and he says, "So, you know, I kind of have some stake in you know, the world ending. So what are you guys talking about?"
I didn't know steak was on your menu.
Is it dude steak?
It is.
Well, it is delightful.
Maybe.
I mean, what seems to have happened is when we were in Fixes whatever the fuck, we were getting absolutely throttled, and I ended up making a wish from the tower to, like, protect everyone. Now, I'm not exactly a smart little dwarf when it comes to, like, the ins and outs of magic, but apparently what happened was my wish apparently, like, made alternate world where, like, everyone had their cool lives and shit, and I wasn't there. And then somehow, alternate cool lives translates to, you're not turning into metal. I don't know.
Also-
I'm telling you what I observed.
Larry wasn't there too, so maybe Larry was the reason our lives were so much better, not you. Just food for thought.
That is in fact possible.
I have heard people say that their lives have gotten better after they cut me out. But I thought you said I was there.
I did not say that.
Elagos takes a drink of water, so he can't. He's like mumbles into his drink.
Elagos did say his alternate life was kind of shit, so if you were there, that is a common denominator for just shit lives.
You've got a
He
good point.
burnt down a bar. It might have been Larry's bar.
You're not allowed to burn
Yes,
down
sir.
my bar, Elagos. Thank you.
Puts away the tinderbox.
All right.
All right, well, if you guys are talking about the world ending, that's not good. Larry doesn't like that. And if none of you are magical enough to understand what's going on, maybe your gods might know a little bit more.
I mean, I could roll an Arcana check.
Yeah, that's the boldest. That's first of all, that was condescending AF, Larry. My life
How so?
My life is about 15% worse every time you speak. We're not magical enough for you now?
About to get 50% worse if you keep running your mouth.
So I'm assuming that if the world is ending, that big blue asshole that we ran into with all the dice and shit is gonna be at least partially responsible for it. I remember just before we all kind of came to, he was going into a portal. If we could figure out where he went, I think we got a chance at kind of, I guess, cutting him off.
That's not a bad idea. Do you have any working theories about why this thing was rolling dice?
I don't know, something stupid.
I assume it was a sort of metaphor for the inherited lack of control and random shit that can happen in life. I don't know.
Maybe he was being like, no dice. You're not gonna beat me, no dice. But he did have dice.
Perhaps we no diced his no dice.
No dice.
Someone please interject.
The odds are in our favor.
What are you talking about? All right. Do you even know? Wait, you guys are talking about a blue guy. What is what was that thing doing to you guys? What was its
Making us
whole
fuck up,
What
I
did it
think?
even do to you?
You remember those sigils that we always wore, like in your bar? We never took them off even when we slept, and we had them since we left the plaza. You remember those, Larry?
Oh yeah, the
Those
gold
were
standard.
Those were apparently being controlled by this blue menace, a blue meanie of sorts, and they basically controlled our entire lives from Prey giving it to us. So is Prey in on this, Larry? You know him, right?
I don't think Prey's in on that. And you see Larry kind of like take out like a gold standard, like from his like breast pocket.
I'm gonna roll insight to see if Larry seems like he's trying to conceal
I would like
anything.
to roll Arcana on this. I would
I'm
like
also
to
gonna roll
investigate
insight.
this gold standard
Damn
to
it.
see if there's any residual blue man
group?
magic on it.
Okay, Blue Man Group.
The blue man.
I got a
Blue
14
Man
on
Group.
insight.
Okay,
I got
so
12.
Aul and Vilhelm are attempting to roll insight to see if Larry knows anything. And from what you understand, Larry doesn't know about Prey attempting to control anybody's like fates using these things. He just thought it was like a cute little like badge of honor. And
I rolled a 23 on my Arcana.
okay.
Let him play.
So when you roll a 23 on your Arcana, you're like inspecting that little sigil magically, and you can see that there is like a hue, like a tinge of like blue magic hanging on to it. But it's reminiscent of divination magic.
All right. Also, before
I wasn't looking to see if there's blue magic on it. I was seeing if it was like being controlled by blue man, not blue magic.
The pin?
Yeah.
The pin is not being controlled
It's just
by a blue man. No,
Okay.
it is being controlled by Larry
before
currently,
I
who
forget,
has it betwixt
just
his
so it's on the
fingers.
record, I am going to take off both of my gold standards because I think I had 2 on me. Oh, they just
We don't have them. They dissipated.
They dissipated upon the
Never mind.
return of something to you.
So, Vin, what would I have to roll? I remember you saying like we smelled like fresh bread when the portal opened. What would I have to roll to see if there was anything else I could remember about what was on the other side?
Bread Boy!
Well, that's
So are you guys just like you roll history with like quadruple advantage?
I don't
after
think
that.
I don't think I
Aul,
need to
you
roll.
wanna-
I think I'm just Elagos is just gonna say,
yeah.
Larry, that simulation that Prey put us through, was that based on a real place?
I mean, I guess it was sort of based on Ruel in like a very small standard, but not directly. Like there's no specific things. But what? Aul, why'd you just shout "Bread Boy"?
What? Oh, did I shout Bread Boy?
Well, I think it's
You
clear
did,
what
it
we
was a
need to
little
do now.
weird.
We find the bread boy. We find the blue man.
Yes. Who? So, from what I remember, when Prey gave us that grand vision of creating Plaza, he was plucking people he knew from real life and recreating them. There was Ro, there was Gamia, there was that guy who wore a lot of leather. Who is Bread Boy? If it's his... his aunt was a baker, that means it's his cousin, Bread Boy?
I'm pretty sure Bread Boy was himself. As a kid.
I think you're like overanalyzing this to the nth degree.
You think it's oh jeez. You think
I
Bread
don't know,
Boy's a
that
dead
bread
end?
boy is pretty sketchy.
More like a bread end, but yes.
So I go to Bread Boy's office, and what do I find out? There is no Bread Boy. The boy does not exist.
Also, can we backtrack? Prey is not Bread Boy because he said he brought in his late aunt, a baker, and the Bread Boy said, "Me mom makes the best bread in town." So that would mean the Bread Boy is the son of the aunt.
So
That could not be Prey.
So we need to find
Yeah,
out
it has to be his cousin.
where Prey grew up. Like, what is his hometown?
Bread Boy could still be alive and well.
Bread Grandpa,
Bread Man
even.
right now. Oh fuck.
I mean, I don't want to be like the sole loser here, but like, when you notice anything else about that portal...
Alright, now I'll roll history, I guess.
Yeah. Now roll history with advantage. Since it happened like 10 minutes ago.
That's a 14.
Alright. So you remember specifically I'm just going to reread a portion of it. Then with a wave of its hand, the ground begins to move. Intricate motions of its fingers trace cracks across the asphalt, forming interconnected circuits of magical energy and runes. A magical circle. And then a portal opens, its edges glitchy and electrified. The smell of freshly baked bread fills the air. And that is what you're able to remember.
Was he going into the simulation? Anybody?
No. I guess. I don't know why he would do that. I also
Well,
don't...
I mean, we got the gold standards from the simulation.
I mean, yeah.
And that's where this whole thing's fucking started.
I'm not going back in there. We're completely powerless. If Prey wants to fuck around, feed us man meat, we can't say no.
I would rather not have his man
Can we
meat.
please stop with the man meat?
No.
Well, I mean, if you guys wanted to like, if you guys wanted to get in there, and like, not be force-fed man meat, Larry can get you in.
I'm gonna need a guarantee on the man meat bit that we won't.
First, we had no chance against this blue figure before. Is it really wise to rush after him without knowing anything about him? We would be completely helpless. Blue boy could just... He could be the bread boy. We don't know. If he's the bread boy, we're completely fucked.
But also, I will point out that we no longer have the things that he used to control us, so we have some advantage there.
So how do we prepare to face something like this?
Montage?
A training montage beseeching various deities for assistance. Montage, I don't know.
Montage!
I'm just writing on a whiteboard right now at montage, beseech gods for help, and then montage again.
So this is turning it into like a Pepe Silva-esque board, where there's like at the corner there's just Bread Boy.
Who is Bread Boy?
No more Pepe Sylvia reference. For the rest of the episode.
Okay. Oh god. Alright. So, if you guys want a montage, I'll let you make montage rolls. These aren't... Listen, I'm working with it. You're gonna roll a die 20 to see how well you can train yourself and study about the big bad.
Does this
or
mean
the
Tyler
person
has
that you believe?
Does this mean Tyler has to make montage music now?
For reference, shouldn't...
He doesn't have to.
What?
He may, but he...
Is it just a
It's
raw
gonna be a raw
D20?
D20, but what I'm going to ask you to do is before you roll it, you're gonna tell me if you're going to, like, plan or think about like the big bad and like what you can do to stop him, or like get more information, or if you're going to like actually be physically training yourselves. So it's either a mental training or like a physical training. So it's up to you guys.
Wool is going to spend half of it training martial arts with Retzela. And then the other half he is going to learn the fine art of baking.
I mean, Vilhelm could help you out with cooking.
Can I do a half and half as well?
Half and half, baby.
Half training
The
with
fucking
Retzela
core
and half
curriculum.
baking. Sign up.
Oh no, I want
with
like
Breath
half
for that
magic.
as well.
Like you got the baking down. I'll get
Alright.
the Arcana out.
How about this? One half of mine and Coralisa's just us in the library.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other half is me training with Retzela as well.
The other half of me is just trying to reanimate things.
The other
Or we're talking to people that have already
The other
died.
half of me sounds like Andrew from like the chest up is reading, and Andrew from like the waist below is just like kickboxing.
Okay. And then Eligos.
All right,
what are
Elgos
you
is
gonna
going
do?
to be spend part of it training martial arts by himself. Yeah, Retzela can watch if he wants, but he can't say anything. I don't want distractions. Another part of it is going to be...
It's a wooden dummy in the shape of Retzela.
The next part of it is going to be training, because he knows dispel. He's gonna try to learn dispel magic with specific concentration on what he thinks the type of divination magic the blue thing was using.
Okay.
And then the third part of it is going to be butchery. He's going to try to learn what exactly man meat is, and if he can prepare it.
I roll your d20s while Larry prepares to go pick up Retzela's Mycinoj.
So do we roll one
Just-
per half?
You guys are just gonna roll
Or
the
is it all
d20
in
and then I'm gonna rule it on a flat basis.
Well, shouldn't we roll a 20 to see how well
That's
Retzela
true.
trains?
Oh no!
Oh no.
If he gets above,
A 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
let me roll mine and see what I get. An 11.
Give me a second. I need to process this.
We suck at montages, guys.
All right, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be no roll. So yeah, you guys are gonna describe your montages, but first thing we're gonna do is Retzela seems to be a very core part of the montage, so he's gonna have to go pick him up. So over the course of 3 days, I'd say that the brain squad, so anyone who was going to train something that wasn't with Retzela, so bread baking, magic training, is going to take place now. So I want you guys to go ahead and do that. So we're gonna start with both Ander, and then we're gonna do Breath Reaver as well. And then
Okay, all right.
hold up,
You know.
and Eligos, but Eligos, you're specifically learning how to do dispel magic. So all of you head into the library. Nobody else was doing anything like magical, correct? Vilhelm and Owl were just gonna do.
I mean, the magic of baking.
All right, so
The
everybody
magic
goes to the library. And upon going into the library, all of you are able to get the requisite books. So, Owl and Wilhelm, you guys are able to find the magic of baking, and where to find baked goods and how to create them. So
Where to find baked goods?
where to find baked goods in the wild, the cupcake that grows out of the ground. So you guys are able to find that book, and you're able to gain some intricate knowledge about bread making and the art of the bread boy.
The art of the bread boy. I'm picturing like a Vitruvian man diagram.
The art of the
No,
bread
that's-
boy.
That might not
That
fly.
would not be okay. I don't know what Larry has in his library, but it's
There's a lot. So you're
I was picturing the art of the bread boy would just be like his drawings, like the kind of like crayon drawings you'd pin on your fridge when you were 5.
oh god. All right, and then now you guys are able to procure that book, and we'll give you more in-depth knowledge at a little bit later of a point. So now, Elagos, you are specifically looking on how to cast Dispel Magic, correct?
Yes, I'm specifically focusing on like the kind of divination magic I think the blue thing uses and how to counteract it. And because at the level we're going to be, I will learn Dispel Magic. That's how I decided to incorporate actual like
Magic.
mechanics into it.
So you're able to glean from one of the books. It's like magic and hold up.
How to not.
No, it's called CIGA.
Magic the Ungathering.
It's called Magic the Ungathering, and then there's there's like a quote. It's just called Sigam, so CIGAM. So that is the name of the book that you're able to procure, and it speaks upon the types of magic that exist.
Literally, it speaks.
Yes, it talks to you. You want to learn how to dispel? My name's Sigam.
I feel like we just hear this book speaking to Alec.
Oh, you fucking! I just got that.
What is it?
It's magic backwards.
It's what backwards?
Magic.
Magic.
Oh, I thought
So,
it was like SEAGAM. I was not listening closely.
I see. Yeah, I had to just like write it out. I'm not gonna do it backwards in my head. So you're able to learn from this talking book, Sigam, and it imparts to you dispel magic, as well as it gives you the ability to add counter spell to your list.
We better get something good for making bread, Harris.
You're gonna
I know.
with those rolls. No,
Well,
yes,
literally
you
rolls.
guys-
That's what we're making.
Those, god damn it! So you
Call it
guys,
the bitchin' kitchen.
we're gonna be handling that in a second.
The
So
bitchin'
then
kitchen.
we're gonna move over to Breath Weaver.
So
We're gonna move over to Breath.
he rolled a nat 1 and got a fucking counter spell. I bet
What?
R2s and 4s.
So yes, you are able to get some books.
That-
I don't even know exactly what you are studying.
I can
Breath
clarify
Weaver
then,
and
if you're talking to me and Morgan.
yes, I am talking to you
So
and to Anda.
basically, I'm trying to remember. As Arthos, I didn't understand what Karava said, but I do remember now, and I have more knowledge of the arcane, and I was trying to find books that helped validate his theory, I guess, picking up where Karava left off with the understanding of the world, maybe what that demon said a little bit, and finding books that can associate with that to see how endangered this world is.
Like specifically the nature of the weave and stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, that it's better than what I was expecting. All right, damn. We had bread and we had that. So, and then what would you like to do as well, Ander? Are you on that exact same pursuit?
I'm trying to see if I'm trying to look for ways that I could possibly get rid of the magic that's surrounding the blue figure.
So you're kind of in the same way as Elagos. So you're trying to learn.
As Elagos, but I already know specifically dispel magic, so I'm
Why
trying
don't you
to
look into
figure out if there's
learning what
another
magic
way.
the blue man's using? So he was controlling people, stuff like that. If you learn how he does it,
Ooh.
it would make it easier to stop it.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd look into also.
And
Okay.
it gets that from a
So
self-help book that says that out loud to him.
Yes, that's like this idea.
His name is Helpy. So you, Breath Weaver, while you are... So I'll go over this one by one now, because I just want to understand what everybody was doing before we got to that. So, Breath Weaver, what you're able to understand is you were talking... You were remembering from your alternate reality self, Arthos, that the weave is breaking down and that certain parts of different worlds are no longer existing, and they're going away. And they're no longer there. And what you're trying to understand is why would that be the case? What would cause that instability. And through your research and taking a look through the books that you see there, you're able to understand a little bit more about the weave when you find a book that's just called Weave, Weave, Weave. And it explains to you the different types of magic that exists inside of this realm. And it answers the question, or proposes the question, that is magic infinite? And the answer that the author concludes in that book is that it is not infinite, as there are different caps on spells, such as level, and that you cannot exceed a certain amount of that. And such epic magics, such as the infamous wish spell, no longer exist or cannot exist in the current structure, so that magic is not infinite, it is a finite resource. So you believe that since magic being a finite resource, it's possible that that magic can run out and then lead to a breakdown, as you know that magic and the weave are interconnected heavily. That is what you're able to glean. Now, as to how that, I'll provide you some information about it. So as to how that will correlate to what you need to know is maybe a little bit different, but the question it leaves you with is, well, then how have dimensions existed with that limit, with that hard set limit? So that's what's being left to you, that open-ended question. And then for you, Ander, after learning from the self-help book that you want to know exactly how this divination magic is being cast, is that you're able to find a book that details actually the Silver Blaze, a group that you know from Fixus Van Korfer's Enterprises. He had a museum upon the lore and the items that the Silver Blaze had acquired. They were a very strong following of Mystra, and what the Silver Blaze attempted to do, or usually attempted to do, was to control fate and control magic in order to keep them in balance, so that reality would last. It was a superstition of theirs that the world would eventually end, and they tried to keep magic in some sort of constraint in order to keep the status quo around for as long as they possibly could, as they were followers of Mystra. When you have gotten this information, you realize that they did so by using divination techniques that sometimes altered the course of reality. So it changed the outcomes of certain things. If a mage was meant to be casting an incredible spell one day, then the next day he may not have decided to do such a thing. And that was the nature of their divination magic. While it is a very powerful magic, it does not stress the weave as much. And that is what you've learned and gleaned from this book. Now, on to the art of bread making. So, as you get the book that details baking, Larry has offered you his kitchen so that you may make food there. After testing out a couple of recipes for bread making, you're able to successfully craft some artisan rolls. Like you can make a pretty good loaf now. Like you're working on baguette, but then you realize that while you're cooking from the book, that there seems to be a magical element to baking itself, and that, like had been explained to Ander in a book that he had read earlier in Ruel, that baking is sort of like casting a magical spell. There's a series of steps, actions that you need to take, and then there's the end result. And that is about as much as you can glean from that. You are now very well trained in baking and baking goods and baking accessories. And at the end of the book, which you are able to complete quite easily, you have gotten a honorary title of bread maker and subsequently bread boy.
I mean, Vin, here's the thing. Vilhelm already has proficiency with cooked utensils, so I kind of assumed that he already knew how to,
This is not just
like,
learning
bake
101.
bread
This
and
is
shit.
advanced shit. This is high level.
What you've learned so far is you've got to do the cooking by the book. You know, you can't be lazy.
I throw out this
I was
piece
waiting
of
for
shit
someone to
book and I
reference
go
that.
back into the library and I take out a Warlord Bredley novel.
On bread baking.
Warlord Bredley.
who?
It was Warlord Brentley spin-offs.
Warlord Bradley.
And I say, Vilhelm, enough of this 101 stuff. You know your way around the kitchen. We gotta step it up.
That is correct.
Did you see a single recipe in that last book that required vinegar?
Sadly, no, I did not. Yeah, I was rather sad at the lack of being able to integrate the most delightful nectar in any kitchen into this sort of a.
Literally, look at page 3, recipe number 3, vinegar rolls.
Oh, what?
All right,
I didn't
so
see this.
all right,
This is
guys,
bullshit.
I see how it is. So as you guys begin to read through this book, you actually are able to find the 5th chapter,
Counterspell.
which details the counterspell. No, it's not.
It's like a
How to ritualize.
it's like a fucking book
You
cipher.
are able to. It's a book cipher. You're able to decode a certain chapter of the Warlord Bredley novel. And you're able to see that there is a skill that is being taught in this book called bread forging. And
Drink more Ovaltine.
and the act of bread forging is the act of creating baked goods to fight for you. Either by nature of sword, shield, or
fucking
crumpet.
spirit guardians, but with bread.
It's yes. Well, now you have bread
Spirit
guardians.
I throw out that piece of shit book and go
No,
back.
no, not again. The bread forgery. All right.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I take the 3rd book.
It's
Master
just
Chef.
titled The Third Book.
The 3rd book, and it's full of advanced magic spells unrelated to baking.
Oh my god. So you take this 3rd and final book, which actually has relevant information to you. It is called the 3rd book. And what it is,
Oh my god.
it is a detail.
It has the spell raise bread.
Stop. You
Turn bun bread.
turn on bread. Turn on bread. You're able to find the specific. You're able to see that this book has a lot to do with the magic
Scone
behind
skin!
bread making. What?
Scone skin.
What?
I
No,
don't do-
no, you
Oh my
don't
God.
get scone skin. That's not a fucking.
Neither is
I will prepare
like
a list for you
sourdough
later
skin.
of bread-related spells you get because you guys are absolutely tearing through these books.
Yeah, we've
and
destroyed
you're
like
able to.
18 of Larry's books. Just keep throwing them out of the moving bar. Like, this one's awful. Shit.
They're all terrible. And you're gaining advanced knowledge of bread until you get to the binding of bread. And that denotes
Binding
the
of
creation
bread.
of bread and its alchemical counterparts and exactly what comprises bread. And you gain proficiency with reading and understanding magical circles through the bread compositions there. You are now bread forgers.
All right.
While that is happening, Breathweaver is gonna move on to look at the history of the world and see if there's anything that might have led, like, any hints in history of potentially weave unstabilizing but resolving itself. Like, if there's any.
You find
Breathweaver?
notes in the margins
Yes.
that describe how to cast scone skin.
Breathweaver has 3 days, and he's spending half of his time reading. What should I do? Oh, just the entire history of the world.
You know, I just read
I'm a
everything.
fast reader.
Okay, you're fair. That's fair. Never
No,
mind.
you-
Breathweaver goes onto a
No, it's-
computer and just looks up a Bill Wirtz video.
Yeah, he goes to that self-help book Andrew has. He's like, any books on the history of the weave?
Please.
Like, I'm thinking, like, big, like, books that, like, of history events that would warrant a book by themselves that might have more hidden behind them than one might
See-
think.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, you want
war
like a
knowing,
weave
like,
Lord
probably-
Brentley novel?
A Weave Lord friendly novel.
Not,
He just-
no, there is not a third brother named Weave Lord
Breathweaver finds a
Brentley.
book called
It's-
History of the Weave, and it's just about knitting.
I will know how to make us some sweaters. Actually, I could use some light armor.
Breathweaver has now earned the entire history of the world.
And now it's going into weaving.
The interesting topics of the weave, and is now actually weaving.
Breathweaver knows a little bit of the history of the world because he's looked up he's tried to find history about dragons, and so he has some historical knowledge already. And I guess going off of that,
in the year negative 1 billion, Roel might not have been here. In the year negative 1,000, it was here.
Coily, now it could be an interesting thing, or you can just go what you said. But if you look up like the history of the weave in terms of how dragons have interacted with it.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna do that.
Get this serious answer out of here.
Roll history.
Okay.
I didn't make anyone else roll because there's no requisite bread roll. Stop! Stop!
For whom the bread rolls.
Oh god, roll undead.
I got a 18.
Okay. So, you look up specifically about dragons and the weave and their interaction with the weave. So, I have to bread ball here for a second.
I don't know what that
Wait a
means.
second. It's like spitballing, but different.
You mean you just take a piece of bread and roll it up into a ball?
Yes. Weave Me Alone, a history of dragons interacting with the weave.
A wone? Why is it a wone?
Leave me alone.
Weave me alone.
So
Weave me a scone.
That's another baking book?
Alright. So you find
Will,
the
what's
book.
this? Notices your weave.
Weave Me Alone, a history of dragons interacting with the weave, is the book that you are able to find, Breathweaver. And
It's like a children's book.
It's a pop-up book.
Dragon go roar, and he breathed fire. Roar.
XD.
your information about this is the following. Usually, the weave is maintained and monitored by the goddess Mistra, the goddess of the weave. As you know, historically, Helm has struck down Mistra, and that the weave was sent into disarray. Now, what you glean from this is some of the first magic casters, which were dragons, granted powers to the weave by Mistra, felt responsible and attempted to stabilize the weave. And then, after reading further on this, you realize that they eventually turned over the maintenance of the weave to a third party. A more autonomous system. Now, you see reference to something that is known as the device that was crafted by none other than Big Hef.
Oh, I thought you were going to say none other than Prey.
None other than Bread Boy.
No dice!
No dice!
That is what you're able to glean from the book Weave Me Alone, the history of dragons interacting with the weave.
I hate that it's a wone instead of alone.
The session
Leave
is
me
going so off
alone.
the rails. Alright, so after 3 days of studying, you guys are finally north enough to pick up Retzla, and Larry is able to locate him inside of the woods.
What's he
And
doing in the
He
woods?
really likes those
Yeah.
netherwoods.
he's training.
He really likes the netherwoods. We picked him up from the netherwoods, too.
Yeah, he really
First
does
time.
like the Netherwoods. So, as soon as he gets picked up again, you see Retzla enters into the bar. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
I'm doing
That's a
very
lot.
well, thank you. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, just as always. Ah, I see Eligos is here. My good friend. How are you?
He's not here for you. Me and Aula.
Your wording this last week has made me so uncomfortable.
Hey, wait a second. Are you holding Weave Me Alone?
Yeah.
That's a great book.
So Elagos has used his baking learning to make a bread version of Retzela called Pretzela, which he's now going to chop into pizzas.
I heard into pizzas.
I don't know what he meant, but pizzas or pizzas both work.
Piece.
Yep.
I said pieces. But
I
pizzas
heard
also
pizzas.
works.
I know you did.
I have coated my blade
I
with
heard
sauce
pizzas.
and cheese.
Oh, well, I'm honored that you decided to bake me into bread form.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah, that's actually a very nice thing to do. You made a food based off of red.
I've been immortalized
This
in
might be his
bread.
apology for not training you with you earlier. Speaking,
Oh, it's okay, Elagos. Anytime.
well, any time for him to not train with you, that doesn't make much sense. But either way, speaking of training, a few of us were hoping to get a little hit the sack, if you know what I mean, hit that punching bag.
Oh, so you wish to have some training from Retzla Smycinoj, eh?
Yeah. See what you got.
I have a general understanding, but I need to hone up. I almost said tone up a bit.
Alright, alright. So, let's head down into the training room. And you see Retzela kind of walks over to behind Larry's bar and looks at the trap door and opens it, and then hops down.
You don't want to try any of the pizza first, Retzela?
Retzela's head pops out of the out of the trapdoor. Oh yes, of course. How could I not eat an immortalized piece of myself baked by my good friend Elagos?
It was a trick question. He just put the sauce on. He's putting cheese on it right now. It's not done. Get in there.
All right. So, Retzla Smycinoj heads into the training room in the basement, which none of you have gone to.
I thought we did at one point.
Nope, you went into the secret
Oh.
training room, not the regular training room.
Ironic.
So, down here, and the only people that have followed are going to be Breathweaver and Owl, correct?
Anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Vilhelm will partake in the training. Sure.
I think I can probably practice a couple spells.
Elagos is going to be in the corner beating up a giant bread golem.
All right. So you bring down your bread golem. So as you get down into the, I have to get my notes from that original session with Retzela. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. So you head down into the into the training dungeon, and Retzela is standing there. Now, across this dungeon, all of the walls are lined with mirrors. The floor is padded. There are a couple of training dummies that line the walls that can be moved. And there is also some equipment that is lining on the walls. And you see Retzela is standing there. And just to describe Retzela again, he wears a golden armor. He has a red, almost scarf-looking scarf around his neck. You're not entirely sure what it is. And you see that he has a great axe across his back, a hand axe at his hip, and he also has a net hanging off of his belt. He looks very, like, Spartan-esque, like, very lightweight, and... I'm sorry?
It turns out that Retzela's red scarf is actually just his really long tongue wrapped around his neck, a la Greninja.
So, you... Roll investigation.
I don't know if I want to.
What if I don't want to
Yeah.
investigate that?
I'll do it. I got a 17. I touched the scarf.
Okay. So you touch the scarf and you see it's kind of fleshy. The scarf, it's not that. So you see that
That's worse.
It's not that.
it's not
fleshy,
it's not a
but
it's
it's not his tongue.
yes, that is
What?
correct. So you see as you touch those the scarf, no, it's not man-made. All right. So you see that they begin to move, kind of like his arms, and he's like, I see you've taken a look at my grappling appendages.
Is this man meat?
And it's like man meat, but different. I am as some people may describe, a simic hybrid. I'm a mix between something and a human.
Man and meat.
Man and meat, brought together in one quite possibly disgusting package, but I digress. So, what do you want to know about fighting? What is it that is burning inside of you? Because I see that you are a rogue, and you are a sorcerer.
Actually, if you double check my character sheet, I'm more focused on monk at this point.
Who just got up and left? I heard that.
That was Elikos.
Elagos is like, I'm done here. Walks back up with his bread golem to go to the secret dojo.
I don't know what I picture Owl pulling out a little, like when he's referring to his character sheet, he just pulls out a napkin that says like I am a monk.
Rogue is crossed out, and monk is spelled with a U.
All right.
I also
And I have some fighting experience, but I just need to hone it again. You know, like I'm not exactly the most in shape for a fighter.
your body type is frankly pudgy, rotund.
That's not what I meant. Fuck you.
I was gonna, yeah, and I would probably say like one of the smallest slices of pizza for lady.
Yeah, probably. I need to go on a diet.
Okay. So, well then the first thing I'm going to do is you're going to run laps around this room.
God damn it, Breathweaver!
Not you.
Okay.
Not you. You're not as fat. And get going.
That's a little harsh.
Chunky.
Chufty maybe, but either way.
It sounds better. Now you.
Also, Vilhelm and
monks.
I think everyone came down here.
Is everybody down here? My God, it's hard
So
to
the
see.
thing about Owl is he's a changeling, so he's both like fit and not fit at the same time. He's Schrodinger's fat.
God damn it!
I really like that. All right, so as you get the Schrodinger's fat, so I assume it's just Elagos, Vilhelm, and Anders sitting in the back, like eating bread, while you two are attempting to
Elagos
trade.
is like Elagos is doing his own training with Pretzela.
All right, so you've animated the pretzel golem.
No, that would take way too much effort. I'm just chopping it.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Wait. Hold on. I might be able to animate the thing.
Oh no.
Turn on bread. All right, so as that is
And what's Vilhelm doing?
Wilhelm, I don't know. He's probably eating it. What are you doing?
Questioning
Wilhelm?
his life choices.
He's not Wilhelm's not eating the fucking bread golem. Well, here's the thing. I thought that Wilhelm would be training with like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I
Then
thought
that's
what was
yeah.
gonna
You
be
can do that
happening.
too. So now you come
Yeah.
over and he's like, "All right, you start running laps too." No, you're fine. You have a build of someone who is a fighter. The only reason why I'm having him run laps is because he doesn't. I didn't say you could stop.
So then, what do you need me to do?
Well, I guess I want to really understand what you got going on here. You're a cleric, right? But you seem smarter than the average cleric.
I mean, I guess that. What? No. I'm what? You are giving me far too much credit.
You seem smarter than the average cleric. Meanwhile, what?
All right. So, what I'm going to teach you is the following. You seem to have a very good base of understanding of how to fight someone or something, but it always comes down to how you move inside of combat and how you add that little bit of flair that makes you different from all the other fighters. So if you, right there, Aul, if you were gonna attack me right now, what would you do? How would you attack me? What would be the best way to do it?
By not telling the enemy your plan.
Keep running.
What pace is that, Breathweaver? Is that on 12-minute mile you going at?
It's 13-minute by my count.
Maybe. It's 10. I'm
You
going
sound
for 10.
winded.
I'm just
Might have to start calling you out of Breathweaver. Alright.
I'm so used to breathing fire that I forgot how to breathe oxygen properly.
As I'm talking to Breathweaver shooting the shit, I instantly, like, go to sweep Retzla's legs. I was like, talking with Breathweaver was a distraction. I wouldn't do that for fun.
Okay, so you go to sweep his legs. Roll me a sweep to leg check. I think that would be either like a raw dexterity check.
I feel like if I'm trying to do it... wait, I was about to say it would be sleight of hand, but I'm, like, sweeping with my legs, probably.
Sleight of feet.
It'd be sleight of foot.
I am kind of trying to get him almost like misdirection a little bit. So would it just be... Would it be sleight of hand?
Give it a roll. I'll let you. I'll let you get sleight of hand.
14. Ooh, I got a 2 plus 12. 14.
All right, so he's gonna roll. He's gonna roll a roll to avoid that. And he rolled a 17. So as you attempt to sweep his legs, you see Retzla kind of just like jump ropes almost with like his Simic hybrid man meets, and he says that was a pretty good move. Now I like the misdirection that you've got there, but the most important thing about misdirection is going for something that I'm not going to anticipate. Why would you ever talk to Breathweaver? He's not even... Well, he's still running. It's kind of... You can see it coming a mile away.
What, my
Well,
running?
you're not close to a mile, yet.
If he's a mile away, it would take maybe 30 minutes for him to get to us.
So what I want you to do is... You have obvious options here. You're working with what? You're working with 2 limbs? The 4 limbs, really? You're gonna want to distract someone and make like more of a fake. You went for a good move there. You tried to orally distract me, and you tried to get me.
I don't like that. I don't like that wording.
You got me in some kind of ways, but you didn't. Your attack wasn't stealthy at all. You went for it's a typical sweep the leg. Now, if you were gonna go for something crazy, I mean, I've got a little bit more. I don't know, limbs than you do. You do something like this. And you see Retzla kind of just like jumps up and attempts to like kick you like with a 2 foot like press with his feet. It's kind of like weird, like how he's being able to maintain that. He's got some core strength, and then while he's attempting to do that, he also just like takes a net off of his back and throws it on top of you. And he's gonna attempt to do that. So you can roll. You can roll.
Tell me what he gets
okay.
first.
He has received a... Let me get the net. He rolled a 17.
Alright, so I do a dex save.
Yes.
24.
And then you're able to get out of the way of the net. So he's like, oh, that's pretty good. So you've got that advanced dodging down. Now let's work more on the...
Well, friendly advice, Retzla. You were watching Breathweaver run the entire time. Stay focused on your target.
All right, fine. So you guys get to start into a little bit of a spar, and then Vilhelm is still waiting his turn. But you guys trade some blows back and forth. You're able to get down better, dodging better moves. You're starting to do some fancier footwork and feet work and really throw him off. And you feel like you've gained a little bit more style points from battling with Retzla.
+2 dexterity.
Don't get out of yourself. Well, if it comes with your level up, then that's fine. But then for you, Vilhelm, he's going to attempt to spar with you as well. And he's going to try and teach you the exact same techniques. And he's really going to show you, like, how flavoring your attack is really going to make it better. Like, with the net and, like, the...
Shade!
Not
bro.
like that. Like flavoring the attack with like, the net or doing something unexpected. Like, I don't think during his entire spar, Retzla has thrown a straightforward punch at you. There's always been something. Like, he does, like, a right hook, he stops a left hook. Like, there's a lot of action going on, and the way that you're used to thinking, like, as a dwarf is very straightforward. It's just boom, hit the attack, done. And it's like step in, step out. And you're learning more about, like, the strategy that you need to fight at a level with someone who's been brawling for a long time.
So all Retzla has to offer is, hey, look over there, and then punch.
Not necessarily. He has... There's a lot...
Does Eliga... No, Eliga says that in character.
He's... Well, if you're so good, Eligos, why don't you come teach me? Something. Probably.
Because I don't want to and I don't have to. Now excuse me, I'm busy training.
All right, fine.
He then says, "Hey, look over there to the break hole."
Yeah, wait, when
It doesn't work.
Eligos is distracting Retzela Harris, you should just like hit him with your hammer or something.
Yeah, I'll do that. While he's distracted, I'll give him a nice conk to the knee.
Yes, knee injuries are serious.
You trying to kneecap
Roll the
people
head
again?
of the knee.
I never said it would be a hard conk.
Alright.
It was just a conk.
I used to be a trader until I took a conk to the knee.
To clarify, I'm like kind of like tapping him
Just roll
with
it.
my hammer to his knee.
It's still a hammer.
I know.
Does he get advantage since Retzela's unironically distracted
No.
by Eligos shit
Not
talking?
right now. Just roll.
I tried my best.
24. Holy shit. All right, yeah. So you're able to successfully
Oh.
conk him in the knee, and you see Retzela just like, ow.
Wait, can I flavor?
Shit.
I have an idea. Can I flavor this? I have an idea. So Retzela is distracted talking to Eligos, and I'm standing to his left. Vilhelm hits Retzela in the knee with his hammer, and kind of like that reflex test, Retzela's knee shoots forward and he just kicks Owl right in the chin.
All right, and then he's like, and then he turns to
like
you, Vilhelm, and he goes like, and that's the counterattack. It's like with Owl on the ground. It's like hammer in shambles. Okay. So you guys get your training. So after some training with Retzela, after some reading up, you guys are gonna go rest up, and you're going to go to bed. There is the option for the 5-person bunk bed. Larry has left it out for you, and if you'd like,
Well, we know at least one person is on it.
1 second here. So at this point, you guys are going to be fully going through your level ups. Somehow, some way, specifically for Vilhelm, after being beaten up and doing a lot of breadomancy, he gets like some sort of awakening inside of him that just makes him a lot smarter, for some reason. So as you guys are going through your level ups, while you're resting, some odd things do happen while you're sleeping. While you're resting, you aren't privy to this, but as you're lying there, you can feel that power that had entered you 3 days ago start to resonate, and it is able to bring forth certain effects. And for each of you, that is something different. For Vilhelm, you seem to be getting a lot wiser, a lot smarter while you sleep, as if the information that you've taken in from both Retzela and from both the breadomancy and bread foraging that you've learned, it seems to just be expanding your intellect, and you feel like a tinge on your brain as that happens. As you're sleeping, Breathweaver, you sort of feel that your running and watching of sparring is kind of reminding you of the way that you used to swing a sword. And while you're sleeping, the power within you manifests a sword of wounding that Arthos once had. As you're sleeping, Owl, you're remembering and you're going through all of the things that you've done, and you're getting a lot stronger and you're getting a lot smarter, but something like comes with you to level out that smarts, to really bring something back home to the evil part of you that existed in the wish that Vilhelm had made, and a staff of a python appears upon you as well. Eligos, as you're sleeping, you're still nibbling a little bit on Pretzela, and you... Well...
No, I don't eat shit in
Too
bed. That's
late.
gross.
It's
Too
canon.
late. Vin said it. You do it now. You're like Chrissy Teigen with
And
her night
a
egg.
small
No take
hand
backs
mirror
this.
appears in your hand, Eligos.
Oh.
And then Ander, as you pass out, you are hugging a bottle of convincing gin. You all wake up and you are all able to retrieve these items that you remember from your time inside of the wish that Vilhelm has made. So as you guys have gone to sleep, you kind of all appear as almost as if you're in the same dream. You're able to see each other. You're able to see Aul. You're able to see, not Retzela, Elagos. You're able to see Vilhelm, Ander, Breathweaver. So everyone is there. And while you're all standing in this unassuming place, this pitch black darkness that seems to be a sort of shared consciousness, you see that your gods appear before you. There's Big Hef. There's Agma, made of books. There is Helm, the being of light and energy, the paladin god. There is a great darkness that represents the god Mask. And then there is a god there, Bahamut, that is a dragon god. And they all appear before you. And the first one to speak, and to all of you now, is going to be Big Hef. And he says, "Hey, my little Ember, how you doing, Vilhelm?"
I'm good. Well, no, okay, so then question. When we had, like, talk with, okay, so, seeing as how when Vilhelm was asleep, his brain got bigger, would that have happened before he talked to Big Hef or after?
This happens all before Big Hef.
Hey, so, Big Hef, you ever go to sleep and feel like your brain just got, like, 3 times bigger? And you don't know why?
I can't say that I have, little Ember. I can't say that I have. Why? You got a big brain now?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, I was sleeping, I had a little dream of, like, I guess blue dragon, and then I felt I have a bit of a headache because, like, my brain has just gotten bigger. Also, I have a weird compulsion to make, like, mechanical doodads and crap.
Well, we're actually here to explain some of that to you guys.
Oh my.
And you see Big Hef kind of just like turns over to Agma, almost as if to usher that they're going to be speaking next. And Agma speaks to you now and says, "So, Chosen, you currently are enigmas. You are anomalies in this world. Congratulations. Or not. What seems to have happened, after I've spoken with Hephaestus..."
Speaking, you're the god of knowledge, and you said speaking.
Well, I guess then I'll have to restart
like master, like pupil.
Well, I'm afraid I don't need any books. But to continue, none of you are exactly the same as when Vilhelm has made his wish. While poorly worded, it seems to have conjoined yourselves with memories and power from an alternate reality. And that is the source of likely your headaches and those items which lie before you on your beds now. And it also is the source of the memories which you collectively have. But that is not the entirety of the reason as to why we have brought you here today. And that has to do with something that happened to Big Hef, or Hephaestus. I know that you like that nickname for him. A while ago. See, and Breathweaver, as you know from reading the history of the worlds and the Weave, that magics were turned over to Big Hef a while ago for automation and maintenance in the absence of Mistra once Helm had destroyed her. The reason for this is as follows. When a certain level of magic has been reached or used up, Mistra resigns herself to be destroyed. This preserves the weave for an extended period of time. Longer than it should be around, as when someone, such a god, is maintaining that weave, it uses more power. So, after that had been removed from the equation and Mistra had given herself up, that maintenance went over to the device created by a big hef. Now, after you made your wish, Vilhelm, the device that we used to power that magic seems to have gone awry. And that is not entirely due to your wish. It seems as if other crystals from the towers that exist within inside of Tofek have been removed. And without their power, these broken fragments of Mistra, I'm sorry to say that it's very likely that this world will no longer last, much like the one before it had. So, I will pass this back over to Big Hef, and he begins to walk forward again. So we've got a quest for you. We would like you to get back the gemstones that have been taken. And we need your help.
Why do you need our help? You're gods. Also, why only two of you talking?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, Helm, my guy, as apparently the person who contributed to the current state of things, what do you have to say about this?
I watch,
Sounds like
and I am aware of what goes on. And I entrust this quest in solidarity with my fellow gods to you. Well, while my part was a major piece of what is currently transpired, we have run into some complications.
Elagos, permission to ask your god a slightly aggressive question?
Granted.
If you watch, how did these crystals get snatched from the towers without you noticing?
Well,
He might have blinked. It's okay.
And then he didn't notice that they were gone after blinking.
I was picturing that Jordan Peele gif where he's profusely sweating.
so,
But he's like a suit of armor, so it's just leaking out of all the holes.
so, to answer your question, while the wish that Vilhelm had made had transpired, that is when these gemstones had been removed.
But didn't we see a gemstone in Ruel get snatched from us? Wasn't one already removed?
No, not at that point. That gem had not been removed. When we speak of removal, we mean from this plane.
Oh.
This gem was taken, and that is fair play. Any who take the gem are able to possess it.
Wasn't the gem that Vilhelm destroyed? Wouldn't that have been the trigger then, not him making the wish? Because it was in the ethereal plane because someone broke it before him named
Yeah.
Bert, who was like a loser or something. I don't remember.
Tower was jumping across planes, so the teardrop would have been in different planes.
That's true too.
In this instance, this was not the case. This was not removed from Tofek, the dimension and the planes that surround it, but is rather in a different one, where we have no reach.
Also, I'm just noticing that Tiamat's not here. Is she like in support of this, or is she in support of the whole reset?
And you see, so Bahamut comes forward and he speaks. Well, Tiamat is not in agreement.
She's trading with
She's
Retsula.
trading with Red Silver. No. She's not in agreement with our methods in coming together. She's not a very compromising goddess. I, however, have come in hopes that you would accept this quest.
You came?
I will come.
Also, Mask, I don't know if this is a good time to tell you this, but in another life, I was worshiping a different god, and they offered me some cool stuff. Not that I'm going back to that god, but I don't know how to say this politely, but withdrew. I want to float around my options. So you can leave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got brought over here. I mean, he appeared talked to him once, and he was whispered in my ear. It was weird. I don't know. I just kind of waved my hand at him. Thanks for coming, I guess.
And Mass leaves.
What? What?
He knows. He's down with it.
Actually, I feel like I'm imposing, but I did worship this eldritch entity in another
Are you gonna
life.
bring him in?
I'm interested what he has to add to the table. It's he, her, they. It was unclear to me. I think they are non-binary. I don't know. Don't know the gender. They're beyond my mortal comprehension. Can they come in?
And you see just like Big Hef just like, no, they can't.
They're not part of the cool kids club.
Hey, Bahamut, I got someone else you can add to the not compromising list.
Ooh.
Bahamut kind of also looks at you and also repeats, no. We do not entertain eldritch entities of doom.
This list just keeps growing larger and larger. I gotta say, 3 people so far.
So anyways, your quest. We want you to, Agma is speaking now, to retrieve the gemstones and bring them back to this reality.
How?
Well, this plane, this area in which you will have to retrieve them is one that you have been to before. It is where you originally were before you came to Tefek.
Fucking called it.
Is Jerry?
Elagos. I whispered Elagos. Ask them about the bread boy.
They can hear you.
He watches, he doesn't listen.
I can do both.
Fuck.
I told you.
I was now sweating a la joy.
We will not be bringing the bread boy to this forum.
Before we continue,
So they basically asked us to get the things and bring them back here into the real place,
Yes.
so they can be controlled again.
Yes, for without the gemstones here, this reality, unfortunately, will not last.
Right.
Yeah. Is that true for all realities or just this one? Is it a cycle?
It is cyclical. Agma speaks again. When this world is created, it is created in the image, in the original image that Mistra had for it, which is the current reality in which you live now. And all subsequent realities and dimensions and worlds that exist outside of this one, such as the world or dimension that you would come from, the other yous that you currently now reside within you, have came from. And, well, if we are not here to usher in that cycle, then what is to happen next is unknown. It is at the mercy of whoever has the gemstones.
Why are there towers with Mistress magic spread out over Tefek?
The answer to that question is when Helm had slain Mistra, pieces of her are scattered into the world, pieces of the god. They contain links to the weave, and they're what brings it to this world, such as Mistra had once done. The maintenance of that, of course, is kept in the heavens, but those items are left within the world as quests and ways for mortals such as yourselves to achieve that which is impossible. And they have always been used for such a purpose.
So Mistra's not, she's not in like Tofek when she's alive, right? She's in the other plane?
She would be residing with us, correct.
So why is it a problem when her essence is removed from the material plane? She wasn't even in that plane when she was alive. You see what I'm saying?
These two are connected. We are able to enact divine power upon these realms which we are connected to.
It also just seems like you guys aren't, like... I might pull the party here, but they're just scattering out these teardrops that if someone decides to collect them could spell the end of existence. That seems like a high risk, low reward situation. Well, yeah, I confer with the party. What does everyone think about that? It seems like a bad idea to lay a potentially apocalypse-causing series of teardrops. I don't know.
I mean, how would you do it?
I guess just keep the teardrops in like a lockbox or something.
You mean like a tower of some sorts?
I mean, no. No tower. What?
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't keep them all in the same tower, sure. You'd like spread them out or something.
But why can't they just keep the teardrops in the ethereal plane with them? With Mistra, when she's alive, is in the ethereal plane, so her magic's being there when she's alive is fine.
She cannot exist within this domain, and that is why they scatter down to the material plane.
Alright.
Well, I mean, if it's to prevent us all from dying, I think that's a fair task for us to do. Go and gather the teardrops and bring them back.
Yeah, we can debate the efficacy of this method after the world is
Yeah.
no
I'm
longer
inclined
in
to
jeopardy.
agree. It is a bit more important to, make sure that we all don't die. That is it.
So you're saying they've been all gathered together at the same time and taken out of the plane? Or was it just the one teardrop that's missing?
It is currently the other 6. While they remained within
Okay.
the material plane, once Vilhelm's wish had been granted, there was a small frame of time in which they were transferred.
You think we can track down the other 6 using the one we have?
I mean, I think we know where it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just, double checking. Time is kind of a...
You could use it, but like Elagos has said, you know where it is.
Okay.
And like, are you gonna send like an army or something to help us?
Nope.
Soul crushing silence.
Wait, the fate of all existence depends on this, and you're not sending like big half your dwarves or your goblins or like.
We cannot intervene.
But
Hell, you've got an entire order at your disposal. I know, because I'm a part of it. Are you really telling me that they can't be bothered?
We could definitely use some help fighting, the person who defeated us once already, probably.
Yeah, this is intervening, Talking to us and getting us to do this is intervening.
We have chosen that you are those to intervene. Beyond that, there is nothing else that we can do. I could send goblins and dwarves, but I do not believe that they would be sufficient.
Alright, send them. That'll help us,
I
right?
mean, any amount of help is probably helpful.
Yeah, you got, the goblins, dwarves, the paladin order, fucking dragons.
Bahamut! Dragons.
I'm picturing the way you said that. I'm picturing like the fucking aliens meme. I'm not saying it was dragons, but it was dragons.
So you've given us all the information and the support you can to the level that you are able to. Is that what we are understanding here?
We will provide you with necessary forces.
7 goblins. No. So are we done talking? Or how does the end of this work? Do we just like hang around, eat some pizza while we continue to dream?
You see Big Hef snaps, and then you just all wake up. So you guys have argued for a better stake in saving the world.
I roll out of the bunk bed and said, "Guys, I just had the craziest dream. You were all there, and we were talking to like gods."
It's only him and Jander Ander in the room, and right when he says that, Ander sits up and throws up all over Breathweaver.
And then you hear a fucking knocking on the wall as Elgos is like, "It's 3 a.m. We all had the dream. Shut the fuck up."
I am trying to commune with a dark eldritch god, please.
So after getting thrown up on, I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna try to meditate to meet with Tiamat. I want her take on that.
So you're meditating with Tiamat. I assume you're trying to contact an eldritch entity owl. And is anyone else going to attempt to do anything?
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to Agma.
Sure. So we'll go through this one at a time. So, Breathweaver, you're attempting to contact Tiamat. As you fall back asleep, you wake up in a familiar room with the black and white tiles that you remember, but instead the tiles are completely black, and towards the end of the dark room there is a dragon with multiple heads staring you down, and it asks you, "What?"
So, the other gods came to us and said, it's all on our shoulders, but I noticed that you weren't there, and I was thinking you have a different take on this whole thing, don't you?
And you see Tiamat's eyes narrow at you, and Tiamat asks you, "So what do you want to do?
What?
Are you going to obey the gods?"
Well, I don't know, because, while I understand the situation, I'm reaching out to see what other options we have, really. You seem to have one that's an alternative to what they suggested. I don't know which is better, or if there's stuff that they aren't telling me.
And you see Tiamat sort of smiles at you and is like, "I didn't think that you were that smart." And
I'm
you see
okay.
you see Tiamat
Yeah,
Tiamat sort of like begins to coil their like necks around you like their dragon heads, and she says, "If you swear fealty to me, then all you must do is betray those who you ally with."
But how does that help?
It doesn't help you. It doesn't help them. But you will survive.
When you say allies, do you mean the people that I'm working
The
with?
people
or
you
the
are
gods?
working with.
But like, I'm really confused. Like, so the option is help bring the teardrops back or not. Is that correct?
Yes.
But wouldn't the destruction... words aren't... Oh, one moment. Just give me a second.
The destruction of words. Corley Herbert's
okay.
role-playing in its nutshell.
just give me a second to
You're
phrase
fine.
my sentence, Ben. But how would that help prevent the world weave from collapsing. There is no... Is there... Yeah, how does that stop the weave
And
from
Tiamat
collapsing?
says to you, the weave collapses no matter what happens. If you are present when it does, and you have the gemstones, you call the shots.
So typically Mystra calls the shots, and then because they are typically her until Helm killed her. But now it's up in the air for whoever wants to can.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
She snaps her fingers and you wake up. Owl, you want to contact an elder god? Like an eldritch god?
Yeah.
Alright.
His old one, I think.
Okay. Your great old
My
one was,
great old
unless
one.
I'm mistaken, the Kraken, correct?
That was my.
That's his great old one twice removed.
It wasn't really a kraken, so to speak. It was more like a, just like a Cthulhu-style creature. It wasn't just like an octopus
You got it.
swimming around.
So, you, Owl, attempt to contact this eldritch deity, this sort of dark, tentacle-like monster. And you enter this very, very deep sea-like domain. And you are able to breathe here, and underneath this sea, this very, very cold water, which is frozen at the top, there is a being here, sheathed in darkness. And it looks towards you, and it seems curious as to why you are...
Hey, so not sure how the whole god thing works. You might not remember me because in an alternate reality I worshipped you and I was like your top guy. But I'm in this reality now. I don't know if that carried over to you too. But I guess I just want to say, hey, the world's ending. The weave is completely disintegrating. I was tasked, I was chosen, not to brag, to stop the world from ending. And I wanted to know if you could help me, you wanted to help me, maybe get that partnership up and running again or something.
So you see it extends a tentacle to your forehead. And in doing so, it shows you at the edge of creation with all 7 of the gemstones that are needed in order to essentially fix, restart, or change reality. And it shows you upon the corpses of your comrades. Vilhelm lies dead, Elagos lies dead, everyone else is dead in this instance. And you passing them over to this eldritch entity at the end, and it offers you that deal.
So I kill my allies, and then I give you the crystals that have the power to change reality as I see fit.
And then it also shows you great power that comes with that. So it gives you it shows you the power that you would need to overtake your allies. It's an exchange, it's a deal that you get this power that would supplement you in killing everyone, and then as the end of that contract being you provide it with the crystals.
No, I get that. I am confused because the crystals, it seems like if I have the crystals, I am the law of the land, so to speak. What I imagine goes, I can change reality as I see fit. That seems to be a greater power than you are offering. I'm not sure what the benefit is of giving that up to you.
So it ponders that for a moment. It's like good point, it's thinking about that, and then it shows you another image as it presses another tentacle to your head of what its reality.
So there's 8 tentacles touching my forehead.
There's
right
a bunch
now.
of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of tentacles. So it shows you in the new reality that this eldritch being is attempting to show you, and it's just in a completely dark, desolate place, and slumbering beneath the waves is itself, and you alive and no longer having any sort of free will. It seems to be that is its end goal, the destruction of everything. That is this eldritch entity's goal. It wants to freeze everything over and create a stillness, and that is
I
its
reach
goal.
out my arm and slowly have it morph into a tentacle and touch its forehead, and I show it a vision of me and the party receiving the gems, defeating the enemy, and using some of that power to create a plane of existence where this creature can completely freeze over everything and have its own domain of death and desolation. And part of this vision is me being empowered by the creature to get these crystals and give it that reward.
Roll persuasion.
Did you really just fucking know you
I think
to
you did.
Cthulhu?
27.
All right. Give me a second as DM. It extends another tentacle to you, Raoul, and it shows you that while you have created this separate dimension, it shows you that same vision that you had earlier when your other self came from the other alternate reality of all those stars blinking out, and it shows its dimension being destroyed and this main one being the only one remaining, and then it being reset. And it's kind of asking you, how will you ensure that it doesn't get reset? You're gonna reset it every single time. You're going to become an immortal existence like Mystra that decides and chooses the weave.
If I'm saving all of existence right now with me and my party, you can bet that I'm going to have some leeway to decide who gets to exist ad infinitum and who doesn't.
It
It's like bartering with the AI in Civ 5. Just offer more luxury resources.
so then it would agree to your deal on the the insurance that it will always exist ad infinitum in that reality. That's its deal breaker.
I touch my tentacle to his tentacle, and there's a flash of gold light, and
No real reason. I just wanted to see what would happen.
So
that flash was actually like a static shock.
do you accept
no.
it? So are you accepting
I
that?
accept the deal.
All right, we will get you your boons later. You've accepted the deal, and it snaps with the tentacle, and you wake up.
I wake up because Anders somehow stumbled into my room.
And Ander is still sleepwalking, I guess, because he also wanted to speak to Agma. And Ander, you come into the mind space of this grand library, and you see Agma is sitting there in their paper form in a chair, and they seem to notice you, and they say, Ander, do you have additional questions regarding your task?
Yeah, Ogma.
He's
Sleep
sleep drunk.
Sleep
He
drunk.
still has it in his
Did he
dream
just
somehow.
drink the convincing gin before going to bed?
I think,
He drinks it in his dream so that he can convince
so
Ogma
this
better.
big bad guy, I think we're supposed to defeat him. I was looking up different magical things that he was doing, and I couldn't really figure it out.
Well, based on what we know of this anomaly we have here, is that they are using strong divination magic to change the course of events. So what do you want to know about that? That seems self-explanatory.
What did I think of that?
You did. 30 minutes ago before you fell asleep.
Morgan, you realize that you're Ander again, right? You're not Jander, the drunken fist monk or whatever.
I feel like there wasn't much difference.
I don't remember Ander being this fucking turd all the time.
They carried over from gender. Alcoholism is a disease, Plombo, a contagious disease.
Scissor.
I don't think I really have any questions. I'm probably gonna go now.
Goodbye. and Agma snaps, and then you wake back up as you're throwing up over Owl.